My name is Khalid. This is my story for colourful heritage of Scotland. I was born in 1938, Gujranwala, Pakistan. One of my friend who was living actually in Cyprus, but they had part of his elder brother that the family was here in 1960, and I just came from Gujranwala all the way to Karachi to see him off. That was the only city where the people, if anybody is going out of Pakistan, the Karachi was the only port or the airport to go abroad. And I just came there to see him off. And after a few months, I myself ended up here. I never asked anybody. I was in Karachi and the parents were back about 800 miles away. And I just got the chance, by chance I got the passport. And I had a little money and I borrowed some money from my sister who was living in Karachi and got the ticket and come here. It was just easy. It wasn't planned like that. That was 1960. And I came into Manchester. That's where my friend was living. I thought it would be all rosy here, but no, it wasn't rosy. And I didn't want to go back because I came without the permission of my parents. And being the young man, it was sort of very insulting for myself to go back and say, I'm sorry, I left home or some sort of thing. And I struggled. And in fact, the first job I got was in a foundry. And my hands were bleeding. And I really cried. Back home, same job, at least about 33 people were working for my family, doing the same job, what I was doing here. That was just a coincidence, but I wouldn't go back. It will hurt my manhood. No, I was in Manchester for about 20 years. I lived there in 20 years, worked in the foundry, then worked on the bus, worked in a textile mill, then the buses, and saved some money, and then I started my business as well. First of all, I opened fish and chip restaurant, and to my experience in those days, it was 1 shilling for the chips and I think 2 shilling for the fish, sort of things. And the people will come to the fish and chip shop when they finish from the pub, drunk, they will come into the fish and chip, can I have this, and half drunk. I didn't like that attitude, and the people don't know. I practically gave the keys to the person who used to come there. I gave it to him, the keys. You like the restaurant? You take it. The people fought there, and that was me, about 4 months or 5 months. And that's me, lost about more than 2,000 pounds, hard saving. In 1960, there was only very few people, very, very few people. And there was no social life except that on Sunday, maybe perhaps the people are visiting each other. And the working week was very long. In those days, I think it was 48 hours a week. The wages were about £6 something, plus night allowance, plus a little bit of overtime. 5.5 days. Saturday you work, half day. And there was not much time for anybody. And then Sunday, there was no baths. Many houses had no bath. Most of the houses had no bath in the house. And the people used to go to the council bath. and there was a big queue on Sundays, only Sunday bath. And this was very simple living, no carpet, no fridge, freezer, uh, washing machine, carpet. Lino was the only thing. If anybody had the lino in the house, very happy and very cold. I opened the shop here, very difficult. It was just the start of 1960 again for me. Meanwhile, I was looking for the place. So anyway, I got one house. I had one house there in Manchester, sold it, and bought a small house here. MashaAllah, I'm okay. My mom died, I think, in 1969, and somebody happens to come from my town to Manchester and told me your mother died. And then after about 4, 5, 6 days, I got the letter as well. The mom has died. Luckily, we had the telephone in our house back in Pakistan, and I booked the call. And I was sitting there for 4 days beside the telephone, just talked to my family, but still couldn't get the call. I mean, the communication was so bad in those days. It wasn't the British side, it was the Pakistan side. Couldn't get it. Eventually I had to cancel the call because I had to go to work as well. I was working on those days, and you can't take the time off and sit all your life beside the telephone waiting for the call. But I couldn't get the call. My mother died, as I said. Then my father died. First, my father died. I didn't even know my father died. The communication was so, I think I received the information after 20 days. My father died. I mean, there's some regret, but life goes on. Life goes on. This is the country where I moved myself. I was not invited here. And this is the country. It has given me everything. And I owe the loyalty to this country as well. So, we love Pakistan. It's not that I don't love Pakistan, but I would say this is the country now. So, this is my country, with all the love of Pakistan in my heart.